Wow, it is brighter than my future out here. But we're not here to talk about me. We're here to talk about this. This is my 1947 Dodge pickup, grain truck, whatever you want to call it. For those of you who are new here, I picked this up, I think, roughly 2 months ago, maybe three. A farmer had it, and I wanted it, obviously, because I bought it. But we're gonna get started on this thing. We got it running in the last video. We actually drove it down the road, and I've kind of had a change of heart for this thing. I don't have the heart to just tear it apart, so I think what the plan is now is, obviously I want to be able to do highway speeds if I keep this motor and transmission. So I think we're going to attempt to keep this motor, this transmission, even this chassis maybe, but we have to we're gonna have to swap the rear end, which I have a rear end. That's not a big problem there. And we're going to shorten the rear frame. I picked up, well, I didn't pick up, I got a step side bed from my grandpa. It's newer style fenders, like mid to late 60s style fenders, which is no problem. They'll work for now. The rear end I have is just a single wheel, 6 lug, and then this front, it has some adapters. I'll show you here in a minute. The way it works, it has some adapters on it, and we're going to try to take the adapters off and do some things to make this work, because I can buy all the brake parts for the front of this truck. Because if you remember, if you watched the last video, there is no brakes. I think the master cylinder went out on it, which I can pick up a master cylinder. I can get everything for the brakes to make the front end of this thing work. So we'll just put the newer rear end in the back, shorten it, put the step side bed on it, and attempt to drive this thing. But first things first, we got to get this grain bin off the back of it. I don't need it, I don't want it. So I'm going to get this thing cut loose, and then we're going to attempt to drive this to the junkyard, which is like 3 miles away, and have them pull that off. And then we're going to take it to the house, my house, and wash it, because this has, the farmer I got it from said that every year he put fluid film on it. That's why it's so dirty. It's literally like oil. So we're going to get cleaned up, get the bed off, and start tearing into it. So yeah. Oh, and also, if you're new here, I just looked before I started this video. We are 12 subscribers away from 1,000. So if you could hit that button, that would greatly appreciate. I would be greatly appreciative. So go ahead and hit that, the like button, comment, all that. You know the deal. But without any further ado, we're just gonna hop to the back of this thing, start cutting this bed loose. That way we can take it to the scrapyard and have them pull that thing off of there. Okay, I figured I could show you real quick what I was talking about with this front end and the adapter thing that it's got going on here. I'll stick the camera in here. It has a smaller 5-lug pattern on the inside of the wheel. So maybe if we can figure out what that bolt pattern is, we can take these wheels off and then possibly buy an adapter. I know, adapter, but whatever. Possibly buy an adapter to just adapt that 5-lug pattern, the smaller one, to match the 6-lug pattern that is on the rear end that I have that I want to put in this thing. But regardless, that's a problem for another day. Our problem is getting this off of here. It's just held on with some big U-bolts. We're just going to chop them up. Well, it's not even U-bolts. They're just all thread with some nuts and some plates on it. But we'll go ahead and cut all those off. And then I want to attempt to slide this thing backwards on the frame. Unfortunately, I don't know how well you'll be able to see it. It has already gotten to the back of the cab a little bit. And if I can save that from happening again, not saying my local junkyard is going to do it. They're real good to me, but accidents happens. If I can just go ahead and slide it back to give a little cushion there, we're going to go ahead and do that. But I'm going to go pick up a grinder, cut off wheel, and we'll get to cutting. We'll probably have to get these mud flaps off here so they don't catch on stuff. And I want to get this off of here. It's an old school, it says stop in it. It's either going to be a cool wall hanger or we'll put it back on the truck. But regardless, we'll go get some tools and we'll start cutting this thing apart. Alright, so like I was saying, I'm just going to cut these U-bolts off of here. I don't need them. Well, they're not U-bolts. Why do I keep calling them U-bolts? They're just all thread with a plate on the top, plate on the bottom. This one's got some sort of weird bracket. Goes over there to some springy ding thing. Over there to another spring. We don't need none of it. So we're going to hack it all off of there. And probably just throw it right in the bin. Grain bin, whatever you call this thing. And let it go to the scrap yard with it. And then I have yet to figure out how I'm going to try to slide this thing by myself. But yeah, we'll cross that bridge when I get there. But this is how these are coming off of here. Boom. Now, only, I don't know, 42 more to go. Okay, all of those are cut off of there. Just chucked them inside, like I said. As far as this light, though, this is the last thing I want to save. It looks to me like they just got a piece of water pipe, threaded pipe, whatever you want to call it, and the light's just screwed onto that, and then it just has a single power wire, and it must ground through the housing, I would assume. So we're just going to cut the wire just like that, and then the light, we'll just spin it out of here until it comes out, just like that. And then we're gonna do something cool with this. We might put it back on the truck, not sure yet, but it's really cool and I don't want it to get broken. So let me figure out what I'm gonna do to slide this thing backwards. Not too sure yet. I really don't want it to fall off of there. The truck is kind of leaning this way. We should be all right, right? All right, I'm gonna try something. I don't see a problem with any of this. What's the worst that could happen? It might ruin this bumper on this FedEx truck a little bit more, but we're not worried about that. I am a little concerned though, because this piece of 4x4 is up against a piece of angle here, so this is not going to slide with it. I don't know. Let's just give it a shot. Yeah. Well, so far we're just moving the entire truck. Yeah. Oh, it moved, but it also went that way. 1 second. Well, bigger issue is, hold on, I'll show you. The bigger issue is the front 4x4 did not slide with it, and that side over there is real close to falling off. We do have a pretty good gap here now. That might just be what we have to do. I'll see if I can't find some lag screws or something to put in this. Maybe we can get a little bit farther, but either way, it's away from the cab. It's not touching it. I'll let you know. Alright, if it works, is it really that dumb? I'm just not happy with it, so I'm going to we're going to jack this up. Maybe. Oh yeah. Oh, this jack bleeds off quick. And then maybe we can slide that back like that. Let this back down. And then go do the other side. A little back and forth, but then maybe I can slide it back just a little bit farther. Get it away from this cab. There's probably 4 inches, but honestly, I'd like to have a lot more. There's plenty of room for it to come back. It's not even to the back of the truck, back of the frame yet, so I'm gonna keep fighting with this and see if I can't get it farther back. All right, I got it slid back a good amount now. This here, that makes me happy. So I'm just gonna throw some ratchet straps around all of this. Probably one at the back, one at the front, just to hold it down, and then get this thing fired up and head out to the junkyard. So I'll see you at the junkyard. Remember, always, that ain't going nowhere. Now we're good. We can go 200 mile an hour in this thing. All right, let's get to the junkyard.
What's up, guys? I know I'm not Dylan, but I'm a good friend of his. I don't know if you remember, like 2 videos ago, the guy got the huge burnout down in front of his house. I'm that guy. Dylan calls and says, I need help. Well, here we are. So we're heading to the scrapyard with the Dodge here to get rid of this hopper thing, whatever it is. Yes, so Dylan's busy making that big money, so I have to do the hot job. I'm sweating my butt off in here. It's crazy. There's no air movement in this thing whatsoever. But good news. And we got the brakes to work. That's a plus. So it's not as sketchy to drive right now. We're averaging about 30 miles an hour. Any faster than that, it likes to do some cool stuff. You probably can't hear a word I'm saying because I don't have a nifty little microphone. But anyways, I'll continue this when we get to connects and then ripping this thing off. Good God! Diggy.
Alright, so as you guys seen, I'm sorry for it being bumpy, this thing drives like a log wagon. And it's really loud, so hopefully you can hear me. But as you seen, Wes when took this thing to the junkyard for me. I appreciate that. Thank you, buddy. But anyways, I'm on my way to the house. We're gonna get this thing there and get her cleaned up. Hold on, there's a corner. Yeah, how loud it is? It's so obnoxious. Hopefully the audio is even working. But anyways, hopefully you guys can at least hear me. Oh, it's so bouncy in here trying to hold a camera still. It is mounted to the windshield, but these old tires, and he's not made for this. Well, she's here. The hood's up because she was a little smoky when we got here, but she did just fine. 40 was about all it wanted, which I didn't expect anything more, anything less. That's why I want to swap out this rear end. You can literally take off in this truck in 3rd gear. You probably could do it in 4th, I just haven't tried. But 3rd gear can literally, you can just take off like I'm taking off in any other vehicle just fine. But regardless, we're gonna swap out that rear end and fix that issue. But I want to get this thing cleaned up. It is super dirty, I showed you before. Got to start somewhere, and I think washing it is going to be a good place to start. So I got some Dawn upstairs. If it could take it off a duck, it can take the oil off the truck. So we're gonna put some Dawn in a bucket, some soap, wash this thing, get her cleaned up, and make it look way better, because I have yet to even see it clean. It is super dirty, as you can see, so it'd be cool to see it cleaned up. I can't even see out the back window. It's oh, that's thick. That's that good quality barn find dust. People pay good money for that. But oh yeah, and you can see where that that box did get into the cab. Got it here and here. But we're not too worried about that. We're gonna get this thing going, get her back on the road. She's a trooper. And as far as the brakes, I tried to bleed them before. I'm not sure what happened. Wes told me that when he went to take it to the scrapyard, all he did was pump them a lot, and they magically started working. I don't know. I tried to bleed them. I couldn't get it to do anything. So whatever. But regardless, I am going to change that master cylinder, and we might as well just go ahead and go through that front end. I can buy wheel cylinders for it. If the brake shoes are fine, just leave it alone. But yeah, I'm going to get the garden hose out, get this thing cleaned up. Alright, it's the next day. Ended up getting dark on me, and I scrubbed this thing until I didn't want to anymore. But as you can tell, you might be able to, hey, there's still dirt. This fluid film is everywhere. Back in here I missed all this. It looks like it just wipes off, but it doesn't. It's all on the roof, some up here still. The back of the cab's pretty nice, but and also, after I do all that, I want to, it needs, inside the door jambs all need done. This is all that grease stuff. So I might end up taking this stuff out, pulling the wood out of the floor here, because they put it on the dash too. I had my good friend Zach drop his pressure washer off, so thank you, buddy. I really appreciate it. That's gonna make life a lot easier. But I'm gonna fire this thing up, try to pressure wash it. We'll probably get a bucket and some soap out again, just to help it along. And then I'm gonna pressure wash the inside of this thing. It's hot enough out, it'll all dry, and I'm not too worried about it, because I want this oil, fluid film, whatever it is, off of this truck. So I don't know how much that'll film. You guys have already seen me wash on this thing, but I'm just gonna get after it.
Can't wait to read these comments. You ruined it with the pressure washer.
It'll be fine, it's just metal.
Much better.
Okay guys, that's about as good as I'm going to be able to get it. And I know me pressure washing inside the cab might hurt some of your feelings, but it's just metal. It'll be just fine. It'll dry out. It's going to be 95 degrees today, and I'm not worried about it. I'll leave the doors open the rest of the day. She'll air out, dry out, and be just fine. But in doing all this, I also figured out, which I already knew, I knew the interior was blue. Well, see if I can find a spot for you. While pressure washing, some of the paint, maybe you can see it here, some of the black had blown off, and it's actually blue underneath on the outside as well. And also discovered that the hood is yellow. You can see little spots in here on it. So what I'm going to assume happened, these are black, they've never been painted. Well, they probably have been painted over. I'm going to assume this dent happened, also denting the hood. And then they found a yellow hood, because the entire hood is yellow, even on the bottom side. I can show you better over here, I think. Yeah, you can see the yellow. So the hood's yellow, firewall is blue. I washed all that off too as well. So what I'm going to assume happened, whatever hit the front also hit the hood, and then they decided yellow hood, paint the whole truck so it matches. I mean, I'm not mad about it. Just what I can gather from looking at the thing. But I did find rust I didn't expect, which is no big deal. It's easy fix. It's just down here on the bottom of the cab, the very bottom lip. Get this out of the way. Some down here, which easy fix, not a big deal. The dents on the back of the cab you can see better now from that grain bin. Not too worried about those. I gotta go this weekend and pick up the step side bed that I got for this thing, and then we're gonna start moving this axle forward, shorten the frame, all that good stuff. And then yeah, maybe do a tune-up on the motor, because I want to drive this thing with this motor in it and this transmission. I would really like to learn how to double clutch the right way and all that good stuff, so that way I can say that I've done it. I did drive the truck home. It's not hard to do. It's different. If you're not used to doing it, it's definitely different. But I'm gonna drive it around this way. We'll go through the motor, not through it, tune up, oil, yada yada yada, plugs, all the good stuff. The brakes, I'm not even sure what Wes did. He said he pumped them a bunch and they just started working. I don't know. I tried to bleed them. I tried everything. I could get fluid to 3 of the 4 wheels, and the one never got fluid to it. And on a single pop master cylinder, all the lines share one line coming out of the master cylinder. So if you got them here, you should have them there. Not sure. Either way, they're working now. We'll probably go ahead and try to bleed them again just to be safe. Only because the backs lock up really fast. It could just need the hoses on the front, which, like I said, I know where I can get all the stuff to rebuild the entire front brake system, and I can get a master cylinder too if that's needed. It's not a big deal. And I've never messed with this. This is the brake booster. I've never messed with this style setup, so hopefully all this is fine. But regardless, yeah, I'm gonna go this weekend. We'll pick up the rear end, pick up the bed, get this thing all back together, and we're gonna start driving this thing. I gotta do a few other little things, but the big stuff is not that hard to do. Yeah, we gotta figure out the windshield too. she's rough shape. I'll show you. I think I already might have showed you, but this whole corner here is split off. You can actually see inside the cab, but we'll figure out something for that. I don't plan on going on crazy long trips, maybe just out to like Wes's shop or out to my grandparents, which is a few miles out of town. Like I said, I just want to drive this thing. I don't have the shop right now to build this thing the way that I want to build it. It'll tie up my entire garage for months, and I'm not trying to do that because I have other stuff that needs worked on all the time. So whenever I can find a new shop, a new place to live, whatever, we'll tear this thing down. I'll keep the Chevy for now, and I still got the frame. If this is your first time seeing any videos on this, this truck here is just a donor for this truck. I had picked this up off my brother. It's a 4-wheel drive, 5-speed, 350 truck. The front frame is real rusty on it. He was using it as a plow truck, and the front frame's so rusty that the frame broke off right at the steering box. But it runs good, drives good. We're going to use the steering column, the pedals, motor and transmission, and the brakes all off of that truck. And I have a square body Chevy frame that I bought that this is going to eventually sit on. But that's for later on down the road. I have everything. I can just keep on collecting parts for the final build. If anything, we'll get the frame here. We'll strip that truck down. We'll get the frame in the shop, and we'll completely build the frame, get the motor on it, all that good stuff. And then we can mount the cab later on. I don't want to tear this thing down and tie up my shop for longer than needed when I have other stuff that consistently needs worked on. Mostly that thing. Maybe a driver issue, but we're not worried about that. But oh yeah, I've just been working a lot. I do apologize for the shorter video. That's why Wes ended up filming going to the junkyard for me, getting that bed off of there. I just didn't have the time. I haven't had a day off since I got back from Power Tour, which is the last video, and it's actually 2 weeks later now because I was a week ahead on videos. But yeah, I do appreciate Wes. Thank you for doing that for me. But if you're new here, please like, comment, subscribe. I just looked a little bit ago, and we're only 10 subscribers away from 1,000. So hit that subscriber button. It'd be real cool to make it to 1,000. And hopefully I'll see you on the next one if you're new here. If you've been here, thanks for watching again. I do appreciate every one of you guys. And as always, I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.